Hello, I'm Mike Looney, Superintendent of Schools. Our school district is researching the benefits and practical implications of making changes to school start and end times. Over the course of the next several months, we'll be enlisting your help to make an informed recommendation to the Williamson County School Board. To this end, let me share with you our timeline and plans for reaching a decision. The district will host 3 community meetings to discuss the pros and cons of altering school start times. These meetings will take place at the following dates and locations. At our very newest school, Nolensville High School, on September 8th, we'll meet from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Then again on September 13th at Centennial High School from 6 to 7:30 p.m. And then finally, we'll host a community meeting at Fairview High School on September 20th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. I hope you can attend. Following these meetings, a series of surveys will be administered to parents, students, school personnel, and the broader community in order to gauge your level of interest in making related changes. In preparation for this important discussion, school personnel have been reviewing scholarly research on school start and end times. And we've even contracted with an independent, nationally recognized education research firm, Hanover Research. Their task was to review available literature on this important topic and to review how other school districts are handling this issue. The video you are watching is intended to outline our findings thus far and to frame the practical operational questions we'll need to grapple with before making a decision. Thank you so much for engaging Williamson County Schools, for your tireless support of the district's continued success, and for partnering with us on this important topic.
Now let's take a look at some research relating to this topic. School districts that have worked on changing start times find it extremely challenging due to busing and staffing. Most districts studied use either 2 or 3 tiers of start times, with high schools starting first, most often between 7:20 and 7:45, middle schools second, between 7:30 and 8:30, and elementary schools last, with a wide range of start times between 7:15 and 9:20. The graph on your screen shows the percentage distribution of school start times of public primary, middle, and high schools across the entire United States. The National Center for Education Statistics' most recent Schools and Staffing Survey, which reports data from the 2011-12 academic year, concluded that the average school start time was 8:19 for primary schools, 8:04 for middle schools, and 7:59 for high schools. Less than half of primary schools, 38.7%, and an even smaller minority of middle and high schools, 19% and 13.9% respectively, started school at 8:30 or later. Though prominent organizations have urged later start times, particularly in recent years, research is inconclusive about the benefits. Districts report significant challenges relating to transportation for start time changes and implementing later start times for one school level, such as high school. It often means assigning the early time slot to another school level, such as elementary school. Optimal school start times have been debated at the national and local levels for more than a decade. In August 2014, the American Academy of Pediatrics released a policy statement that heightened the national attention paid to the issue. In the policy statement, AAP identified insufficient sleep in adolescents as a public health issue, recognizing early school start times as a key modifiable contributor to chronic sleep loss. The AAP recommended that districts delay school start times for adolescents to 8:30 a.m. or later in order to improve students' health, safety, and academic outcomes. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention supported the AAP recommendation for later school start times, agreeing that widespread lack of sleep among adolescent students constitutes a substantial public health concern. Specifically, the CDC indicated that adolescents who do not get an adequate amount of sleep each night are more likely to be overweight, not engage in daily physical activity, suffer from depressive symptoms, perform poorly in school, and engage in unhealthy risk behaviors such as drinking, smoking tobacco, and using illicit drugs. In line with the increasing focus on the importance of sleep for adolescents, Healthy People 2020 also added a goal to increase the proportion of students in grades 9 through 12 who get sufficient sleep, defined as 8 or more hours of sleep on an average school night. Despite these important calls to increase adolescent sleep time by changing school start times, literature is inconclusive regarding a relationship between school start times and academic achievement. Many studies reveal potentially positive academic effects resulting from delayed school start times, as measured through grades and standardized test scores. However, there is a lack of causative evidence to suggest that later school start times improve student academic achievement. In fact, several articles reviewed for this report determined no significant link between school start times and student achievement. It is important to note that the majority of research examines school start times at the middle and high school levels, making it difficult to extrapolate results to elementary school students. Some studies found that earlier school start times were correlated with higher numbers of student absences, with one study of high school students in Chicago public schools reporting that students were absent more during first period than any other time of day. In addition, some studies indicated improvements in tardiness rates. Dr. Looney has been in discussion with school administrators in an attempt to explore the practical implications of any potential changes to school start times. The list that follows includes some of the questions that need to be addressed. If WCS switches elementary and high school start times so that elementary schools begin around 7:30 and dismiss around 2:30, and high schools begin at 8:30 and dismiss at 3:30, how will we address concerns about safety, given that buses would begin picking up elementary students as early as 6 a.m. during the winter months when it is cold and dark? If high school start times are delayed, how will that impact local traffic? If high school start times are delayed, how will that impact athletic and extracurricular activities? Can the district afford to light all athletic fields for evening practices and games? If elementary school students arrive home in the afternoon prior to an older sibling, does that create safety concerns? If high school students get out later in the day, how does that impact students who work after school? Would the community support band practice before school? Would the community support students in grades K-12 riding the bus together? If elementary school students start earlier, how will that impact before school care for working parents? If elementary school students are dismissed earlier, how will that impact after school care for working parents? There are very likely other factors and questions that aren't included in the list. And as you can see, there are many competing issues. Thank you for viewing this video. We will be soliciting your input before November 1st and appreciate your participation in advance.